back to the Ireland Contracting Night in Sports Call. I'm Rich Walsh. If you need a roof or anything else, make sure you give Ireland Contracting a call. They're #1 in Pittsburgh for a reason. That's why they're really good. I would call them if I needed something, so you should too. 1-800-NEW-ROOF, Ireland Contracting. Give us a call right now on the Borders to Borders hotline. 412-575-2600 is the number. Taking your tweets and your phone calls tonight. I do have a tweet here from Jared Starks. Do you think Pitt will win a game in the upcoming ACC tournament? Pitt did win today, beating Notre Dame by the score 56-53. It wasn't a fun game offensively to watch early on, but Pitt gets a win led by Trey McGowan at 16 points today. So back to your question, Jared. They're the 14th seed. They're playing Boston College. That game's at 7 o'clock on Tuesday. And I think Boston College is a very beatable team. Yes, I do think that they can win that first-round game. Now, that's where it gets interesting. They would have a matchup with Syracuse if you beat Boston College, and they just don't match up well with Syracuse, and I think that's where things would end for them. But they do have some momentum. They do have some confidence. Trey McGowan has some confidence. It seems like the team goes as he goes. He had a couple big games early on, and people were excited, and then he just kind of went away and was silent for a little while, and the team struggled. So now he played well. Kind of took over this game, especially in that one stretch at the end of the first half and the beginning of the second half. He had 6 points. They were on a 13-2 run. He had 9 of those 13 points, then picked up right where he left off in the second half with to give Pitt the lead. So it was a big game for him. I think it's a big confidence, momentum-type game for the Panthers. And I do think they beat Boston College. They should have beat Boston College on the road, and I do think that they beat Boston College on Tuesday. And that game is in the ACC tournament, Tuesday at 7 o'clock. Let's go out to the phone lines. And we're going to go out to Jerry out in Hempfield first. What's up, Jerry?
Hey, Rich, it's been a while since I talked to you, but I got a very bold statement I want to
Jerry.
ask you.
Okay.
Let's go. I want you to listen before you interrupt me. Antonio Brown today in the paper says, I'm not going to play unless I get what I want. That's what he said in the paper today. So that should tell you that a lot of teams don't want him. Now, if I'm the Steelers, I'm going to say to him, I'm not giving you your $2.5 million bonus. I'm cutting you. As of now, you're no longer a Steeler. And they're going to save the $13 million by not paying him, by keeping him. So there's $15 million they're going to have, okay? And they can go out and get 2 great defensive backs. Now, Antonio Brown, he wants his $18 million. Nobody's going to give him that money because they don't want to give a #1 draft pick for him. So he's going to have a hard time getting anything. So the Steelers will really be ahead by just cutting him, saving the money, taking the $14 million, and go get 2 experienced defensive players and get on with it. What do you think about that?
Well, I'm going to interrupt you here because you're a little off with your numbers. They won't save any money. They would save about $1 million if they cut him. And that's completely off the table. Kevin Colbert said they are not cutting him. So we can forget about that. So basically what the Steelers did is they advanced him his signing bonus. So he's going to count against the cap this year, $21 million if he's not on the team, $22 million if he is on the team. So he's only basically making $1 million and some change this year because he already was advanced that money. So the Steelers aren't saving much by cutting him or trading him. So that's the problem with the Steelers. So the numbers are a little off. And he did say that. That was last Saturday. He said, he's not going to play unless he gets what he wants. That was whole part of that ESPN interview, HBO, that whole Saturday of Antonio Brown interviews that he basically blamed everyone else but himself. So, it's just not a right fit for the Steelers right now, and I think it's really frustrating for the front office, I would imagine. But I think when you're inside the Steelers organization, maybe it's not as blown up as it is outside. I think he does a lot of this for the reaction that he's getting from the public and from Twitter and from Facebook and from news and ESPNs. And so I don't know. I think some of the players might just laugh at it. But I do think that something like this, because he's personally attacking Ben Roethlisberger, that it does affect their relationship. And I don't think that is repairable right now. And I think that's the problem. So I think the Steelers are going to have to, I hate to say it, but what I would do is I'd pay the $2.5 million and say, look, we're going to trade him. We're going to try to find a better deal. Just you're going to have to eat the $2.5 million and maybe get a first rounder come draft time and compared to a third rounder right now. And when you look at it, $2.5 million might be worth those, 50 picks, right? If you're putting a price tag on each pick, and that's kind of what they do when they try to figure out what this value is, this pick, is this that, so I think $2.5 million is probably a good value to pay to move up a lot when teams are desperate and they're not getting what they want, and then a team's like, yeah, I'll give you this pick, give me Brown, and maybe they could talk, maybe they could figure out, maybe his agents can get in his head and say, hey, you need to calm down, Antonio. We need to you need to stay off Twitter, Instagram, and all these things for the next 2 months and let things calm down a little bit so we can get you traded and you can be happier being on another team. Because I really think the social media is really damaging. There's no question it's damaging his value right now. Back out to the phone lines. We're going out to Masterson in Churchill. What's up, Masterson? What's going on, buddy?
Hey, what's shaking, doctor?
Not too much, man. I always take phone calls from Churchill because that's where I live.
Well, actually, I'm across the street from you. I'm in Black Ridge.
Oh, okay. Close.
Okay. So anyway, I have to agree with the last gentleman, but I will go a little bit further. Why have somebody working for your corporation if they are not happy? Get rid of them, get rid of them, get rid of them, get rid of them.
Yeah, but don't you want something for him? He's the best receiver in the game, if not the best, maybe a top five. Well,
you can get it.
You invested a lot of money. You've already advanced him tons of money. And so you got to get something for him. I agree. Amari Cooper fetched a first-round draft pick. So you would think Antonio Brown could too, right? So I think you can't cut him. Look, that's completely off the table. So that's what the Steelers said. That's what Kevin Colbert said. They are not releasing him. That's not an option. I do believe them that they would pay him the $2.5 million and just let this thing play out. Or maybe they're, Art Rooney's a lawyer. Maybe they could figure it out that he damaged the Steelers, conduct detrimental to whatever it's going to be called, and you figure things out and you don't pay him and say, hey, come after us for the money. And then it goes arbitration, and then who knows what happens from there. So I know the union would fight it, but I think the Steelers there's probably some kind of loophole you could figure out and say, I'm not paying you. That's it. I'm not paying you. What are you going to do about it? All right, back out to the phone lines. Let's go out to Rick out in Hopwood. What's up, Rick?
Hey, Rich. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for calling.
Yeah. Okay, first of all, your hair does look good, unlike the caller a couple nights ago.
Yeah, I know. Can you believe that? Thanks.
No, I can't. He's ridiculous.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Rick.
2 comments. One about old Antonio Brown. I hope he does land somewhere, but he lands straight on his face.
I think a lot of Steelers fans feel the same way, and I think that's joy when everyone thought he was traded to the Buffalo Bills because, they're a potential disaster up there, and that would have been a disaster situation for him because now you're dealing with a second-year quarterback in Josh Allen who has some accuracy problems. And it's cold, and it's not the place that he's looking for. So I think a lot of Steelers fans are happy. Just give us whatever you want to, Buffalo. Take him. So
exactly.
Yeah, I think a lot of Steelers fans feel that way. But I do think there's value with Antonio Brown. So you gotta get something for him. I know Zeiss disagrees with me. He said just give him away, but I think you need to just hold on to him. Hey, if you don't want to report to the Steelers, like Jalen Samuels was unhappy last year for Jacksonville, and he played. Patrick Peterson was unhappy in Arizona. He played. They all wanted traded, so maybe they take that road and just say, all right, you're going to be unhappy. What are you going to do? Are you going to play? Are you going to make your money? Or are you going to sit out and we're not paying you anything, and then we're going to fine you, and then we're going to sue you for the money that you're owed for not playing this year? So
exactly.
All right, thanks a lot, Rick.
Was an NBA comment real quick. I lived in Indianapolis for 19 years.
It's a great city. I love that city.
Yeah, my ex-wife, my second ex-wife, she had a father that her father was the pharmacist for the Pacers. So I got to meet a lot of the ABA Pacers, the ABA coach, and a lot of the NBA players. So I thought that was really neat.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. Thanks for that story, Rick. I appreciate it. I do love Indianapolis. I think it's a great city, a lot of cool restaurants right there downtown. I'm a big fan of St. Elmo's, Harry and Izzy's, and the Weber Grill. I'm a huge fan of the Weber Grill. All right, we got to take a break. Back with more of your phone calls. Some of your tweets coming up next. Stay right there.